uppercut, leave you laid out on the floor. Try to duck and roll, hit and miss, now you counting stars. Should've practiced more, should've hit the mask, get out there more. Claim that you're the best. You gotta show me, son, actions over words, baby boy, is you real or what? Talking way too much, world come back sports, talking way too much, world come back sports, talking way too much, world come back
Big shout out to the hottest chat in the MF game. A-Side official. No negotiation needed, period. You already know, man. I'm just going to touch on the fights tonight, both MMA and boxing. First, I want to speak on, my boy Brian Ortega, man. I was glad to see him get the win. UFC Fight Night. He went in there against a tough opponent he had already lost against Yair Rodriguez. Ortega is he came in the sport a jiu-jitsu guy, and then, like every jiu-jitsu guy, you have to work on your boxing, So he's had some tough fights, but his resume speaks for itself. He has wins over Thiago Tavares, Diego Brandao, Clay Guida, even Renato Moicano, Cub Swanson, Frankie Edgar. And, he had a tough loss against Max Holloway. That was a bloody fight. He beat Chung Sung Jung, but he lost to Alexander Volkanovski, who, at that time he was wrecking. Featherweight champion, he was wrecking. That was back in 2021. He had a shoulder injury against Yair Rodriguez in 22. And this is his first fight back since that loss to Yair Rodriguez from a shoulder injury. First round was very tough, because Yair is a very versatile striker, man. He was throwing kicks, spinning techniques, low calf kicks. He was really switching it up. But one thing that shocked me, he was able to get top position. And I said, if this is how the fight's going to go for Ortega, he's going to be in for a short night. Because not only did he have top position, but he was landing some solid punches from top position on Ortega, and he swelled up his left eye quick, but he bounced back in the second round, and then in the third round he was able to submit him, go in there and go back to what works. It's funny how these jiu-jitsu guys will come in, they want to abandon their strength, right? That's their pedigree. That's their base, the foundation. They won't abandon it, but MMA is consistently evolving. So instead of them looking for takedown after takedown becoming predictable, they do, they stand up and they strike. Well, in this case, he was in there with the striker. So he had to revert back to what he do best, is jiu-jitsu. And, in the third round, he was able to get another takedown. He had plenty of time on the clock. He ended up sinking in a submission. I'm happy for him because, he's been through a lot. And he's over there training with the Gracies since he was like, I think, 15 years old. So, yeah, shout out to Brian Ortega, man. T-City in the building. He improves his record is 17-3 right now. His only losses, like I said, was to Yair Rodriguez, Alexander Volkanovski, and Max Holloway. Max Holloway was a former featherweight champion. Alexander Volkanovski, a former featherweight champion. And Yair Rodriguez was contender. And they ran it back. So shout out to them. Shout out to Tough Glove Boxing. Salute to you, brother? What's good with it? Appreciate you pulling up. Let's get to the Berlanga fight. Berlanga went in there and had a fight today where it was a lot riding on his performance. He was in there against Ortega, McCrory, and Berlanga was 22-0, 17 knockouts. Of course, when he came on the scene, he was stopping cats. Of course, he had to step up his level of competition. And when he did that, the knockouts kind of, went mute for a little bit. And, then he, after going the distance with Damon Nichols, he fought another tough fight after that and was dropped. So he really had some searching to do to kind of reassert himself, get it locked back in to what improvements he needed for his skill set. So going in here against Irishman, McCrory, it was strange a little bit because the first, I say 2 to 3 rounds, the first 2 rounds, Berlanga was just following McCrory around the ring. He really wasn't closing distance with his jab. And he was just walking and just standing there, basically trying to land the power shot. Then he started getting a little bit more loose in the 3rd round. You saw him dig to the body a little bit, but still, every so often he'll find a jab. He'll throw one single jab. And I'm saying to myself the whole time, I'm assessing this situation to see if that's a fight that potentially the crowd will want to see with him stepping in there with Canelo Alvarez. Eddie Hearns pushing for this fight because he's a mandatory now, And I'm saying to myself, there's no way with the mistakes he's making. And McCrory was hitting him with some solid shots, man. Like, I know there's a couple of times in here, possibly, Berlanga was feeling a little, sting from some of those shots McCrory was landing. But he worked through it. McCrory didn't make him pay enough for just standing in front of him, walking, standing there, very limited head movement. Just looking for the right hand. I thought you was past that, Berlanga. I thought you was past that, man. I thought you working in the gym, you obviously not listening. Because you had the jab there that was working for you early in the fight. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about at the end of the 3rd, early 4th, or whatever. The jab was working every now and then when you use it. But you wasn't doubling, tripling up on the jab to set up any type of body work. Anything. You was just, when you got in close, you was just trying to land that right hand. And you had a little mouse on your eye. And I'm saying, Berlanga, you're making it more difficult than it need to be, bro. Use your jab and box. Throw some combinations. He ended up doing that, man, and ended up getting him up out of there in 6. But in those 6 rounds, what they told me is that, you're going in there no different than Jaime Munguia. Jaime Munguia his hands are a lot active than yours, Berlanga. You know what I'm saying? And he, too, stayed in there with very limited head movement. So when, his opponent decided to counter, they was able to land the shot because you was standing right there. You know what I'm saying? Stationary, idled. And you wasn't, punching off line. You wasn't basically using any type of lateral movement or, creating space from different angles. You know what I'm saying? You right there center, lineal. That's it. You didn't step off to the side and try to set up a different combination. You just right there with your eyes peeled, waiting on him to do something. You're not going to be able to get in there with Canelo Alvarez and get away with that. Seriously, I mean, my opinion, I think Berlanga should fight Jaime Munguia next. But I know that's not going to happen because they can sit up here and push for Jaime Munguia, right? But yet when it comes to Berlanga, Eddie Hearns will say, well, Jaime Munguia is not something that's valuable to us right now. He has nothing to offer. We want Canelo. And Eddie, I know you good at what you do, man. Don't put Berlanga in there with Canelo. Don't do it. Don't do it. That dude does not like using the jab. He doesn't like moving. You know what I'm saying? Switching up the angles. He's like a stop sign. For real. We all know where the stop sign is at. We pull up on the stop sign just sitting over there. Stop. I'm right here. You know, stop sign, you don't see stop signs moving. They're not like the traffic light. At least you see traffic lights moving. You know what I'm saying? You get a red every now and then, yellow or green, all that shit. But Edgar Berlanga is like sitting up like he's a freaking freshly planted stop sign and concrete hard already. I mean, like, damn. You can't miss it. How are you going to go in there and fight Canelo Alvarez with that type of style and expect to make it out the fight? I just see him stopping Berlanga with that. What I seen tonight, you know, something's not clicking with him, man. You know what I'm saying? He must not be listening. You know, I think McCrory got a little fatigued. Whatever the case may be, I wasn't just buying this. I wasn't buying it. I'm not buying that Edgar just knocked him out based off hitting him with that right hand. It's just like they was just hoping that he get a knockout tonight just to build. I've seen this script from boxing before. I've seen this shit. You know, they want to say, oh, you got to look good. Oh, the Puerto Ricans in the building. Puerto Rican fight fans in the building. You know what I'm saying? And, Berlanga got to go in here and get the stoppage in order to basically bring awareness to a potential Canelo fight. No, real boxing fans should look at that like, come on now. Crawford would beat Berlanga right now. Crawford would beat Berlanga right now. Period. David Morrell, in my opinion, will be trouble for freaking Berlanga. Real talk. Caleb Plant would be trouble for Berlanga. Just straight up boxing, period. You know what I'm saying? David Benavidez will stop Berlanga. Stop him. Like that stop sign. You know what I'm saying? Like that stop sign. He will stop Berlanga. I don't see where it's at. Seriously. I don't see how they pushing for a Berlanga fight and they get a stoppage. I wasn't buying that knockdown, even though, McCrory tried to sell it. They was just waiting for the right time, man. Just like, man, I'm not gonna mention these fighters' name because I don't want them to feel no type of way about where boxing is at right now. It's a lot of fighters out here that's selling the KOs, man. They trying to sell the KOs to the fans, man. You know what I'm saying? And the fans just in there, they're not really paying attention to what's really going on. They watching it from whatever angle they can see it. But they selling these KOs to the fans, man. Like a lot of these fighters is getting dropped and stopped. They doing a lot. They stretching their body out, spazzing all over the floor and shit. Like they got hit with a freaking Thor hammer. Say I'm lying, man. Shout out to Dan on deck. Salute. But, as far as him being ready for Canelo, I don't think so, man. I don't think Berlanga's ready. I don't think he makes it out of the fifth or sixth round. You know what I'm saying? Especially if Canelo comes out fast. I mean, it's not it's not happening, bro. It's not happening. I mean, I don't dislike Berlanga anyway. I'm just saying as far as what you should be paying attention while you in the classroom, it's just something ain't clicking. Like, you was following that man around the ring, right? You was following him. You was in pursuit. All McCrory had to do was catch you while you was coming in because you wasn't letting your hands go. You was just walking around with your hands up, waiting to get in a spot to take a snapshot. You could have just worked your way in with the jab. You know what I'm saying? You could have work your magic with letting your hands be active and closing the door on McCrory and landing some good headshots, man. You know what I'm saying? But you was just walking and walking and walking and walking. It's almost like he was walking you in the park. You're not even letting your hand go when you get in distance. You just go there. You come to mailman, you post up, and then you want to land some shots. Bro, who taught you that? That's all I'm saying. Who taught Berlanga that? He's supposed to be getting ready for Canelo Alvarez now. And he's up there just walking, waiting for McCrory to stop so he can land the right hand. Like what happened to the jab? It's almost like Berlanga had a phobia, a jab phobia. He didn't want to throw the freaking jab. Like, dude, if you got decent power, show it. You know what I'm saying? Run it off the jab, man. Something. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying, man. Is he ready for Canelo, man? If Eddie Hearns want to put him in there with that coal burning, he won't be the first lamb to be sacrificed. For real. He won't be the first. Real talk. He won't be the first to be sacrificed. No doubt. You know? Enough of Berlanga. Congratulations on his win. Congratulations on Cruz. Andy Cruz goes 10. You know, with his opponent, who was very tough, because Cruz did have a knockdown in that fight. He's continued to improve. You know, he just still has growth. You know, he just has growth. That's all I can say. He has growth. He has a lot of areas that he need to grow in. You know, he was letting, I forgot the dude's name, but he was just letting him exit out the same to his left. You know, to Andy's left, his opponent's right. He was just letting him pivot out because he was a southpaw, right? So go figure. But he was letting him get away with that exit, that pivot. He'd pivot out. You know, same shit with Rigondeaux when he was fighting not Robisi, but Sosi, whatever his name is. All Rigondeaux continued to do was pretty much pivot out to his right, pivot out to his right, pivot out to his right. You know? And you know, Andy Cruz wasn't doing enough to stop that and shut it down. But he was cutting off the ring now. I give him that. He was cutting off the ring. And he did try to make him pay sometime by going to the body when he was pivoting out with the left hand. So, but I don't have any strong criticism for Andy Cruz because that was his third win, third professional fight. And I like I like his potential. Real talk, I like his potential. I'm not gonna sit up here and pull him and say, okay, you need to fight Keyshawn, this, that, and the other. Hey, I've seen Keyshawn Davis in there with better competition, with better performances than Andy Cruz had tonight. You know what I'm saying? That's my opinion. The crazy part about the amateurs, you know, you can get a win over somebody, the amateurs, but can it happen in the profession? That's different. You know what I'm saying? I think Keyshawn's improvement in the professional ranks have definitely basically increased. You know what I'm saying? His improvement has increased tremendously. So, yeah, congratulations to Andy Cruz over there in Philly training. Bozianis, you know, he looked good tonight. 3-0, undefeated. You know, still doing what he got to do. I want to talk about the Ryan Garcia situation and once more, because I was supposed to have to do a live on this separate than what I did before. But he had two tweets that he sent out. You know what I'm saying? These two right here. And the impression that he's giving people is that he's bouncing. You know what I'm saying? He may be potentially pulling out this fight with Devin Haney. We're still waiting. You know, I'm pretty sure behind the scenes phone calls are being made, people. They trying to make this fight happen. I feel that when it comes to boxing, you know, you have so many people that get this certain positions. It happens in media. You have people that's in certain positions and they don't want to see other people grow. I mean, you pretty much have this type of maliciousness in real life. But for them to say that Devin and Garcia, we moved you because of we didn't want to check Canelo's ticket sales, it's just unbelievable. unbelievably selfish. Real talk, very, very selfish. And it kind of give me the feeling not even want to watch, that Canelo fight unless Crawford's fighting him. Because I look at it like this, like, how long have you been in the sport? How much have you accomplished? And how much money are you losing if you're getting a guarantee? That's why I don't believe this gibberish that they talking about with moving Garcia's fight. Now, Ron said the decision has nothing to do with the NYC, but everything to do with the business and what I believe is the best move for my career. This is a MGM Vegas fight, doing everything we can to bring this to Vegas and giving this fight what it deserves. Now, I know Devin said, he's planning his escape. But in this case, if Ryan Garcia is advocating, he's protesting the fight being moved from Vegas, I will commend him for that. This fight shouldn't be moved from Vegas just because Canelo is fighting. They didn't make Floyd move back in the day because they couldn't. I mean, how can they make this fight, move it from the T-Mobile Arena like it has some type of bleed over? Like it's going to interfere with any type of fan participation. I mean, it's just crazy to think that boxing still has areas in there and people who can make situations happen like this. This big now. This is a big situation that they can prevent someone from fighting in Vegas and stop them from making money. Especially when it's somebody that's supposed to be the king of the throne up there, holding the throne as one of the top pound for pound fighters. How in the hell can this be? How can you say that Garcia Haney, who doesn't even have close to the numbers, close to the prestige, the superstardom of a Canelo Alvarez, to be placed in a position where someone say, no, we sending you to the Barclays. Ha ha ha. Man, that's foul. I'm going back to the old school dictionary. That's foul. That's trifling. You know what I'm saying? That's foul. That's trifling. Real talk. You got some young fighters on the come up and they can't get a Vegas fight because they don't want to affect the ticket sales. That's bullshit. If Ryan's trying to say, I'm going to protest this, I ain't going over to New York, man, kudos to him for doing that shit. Stand on something or crawl for anything. You know what I'm saying? This shit don't make sense. I'm sick of stuff like this happening with boxing. That's why, I was looking at, the UFC mostly tonight, but I was watching boxing too. Because little dumb shit like this. You'll never hear something like this going on in mixed martial arts. Never. You'll never hear some bullshit like, oh man, so-and-so did this and Dana White them couldn't do this right here. That just goes to show you the system in boxing. Who's really running the system? Nobody. There may be people in high places that can make those decisions, to a point. But this decision right here is horrible. Stupid. Seriously. You wanna pretty much single out two up and coming fighters as the main event just to prove a point because there may be some type of disdain there, maybe some contentiousness, and you want to prove a point by saying, well, if Devin said they was the face of boxing, I'm gonna show you not the face of boxing because I'm gonna move y'all out of freaking Vegas. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that could be it too. They was over here talking about they the face of boxing now. Canelo begs to differ. If Canelo if Canelo wants to move the head of the bow and put the sails up, he'll do that. There are people that allow him to do that. Fighters don't think about that when, they say certain things that the other fighters that still in the sport, they can really make some changes, man. Seriously, they can really make some changes and prove points. And this is what I think we have going on right here, is that Canelo is proving a point. He's flexing on them. He's letting them know, hey, I got the juice. Don't forget it. How can you, be the face of boxing and I'm still up here. I can make calls and have your fight move from Vegas to New York. That goes for Ryan and Devin. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't say that Ryan has, any problems with Canelo like he did before. He said he had squashed that. He invited Canelo to go golfing, but he wouldn't pick up the phone and give him an okay or not. But who knows what it is with Saul. You have everything, that you need. You're getting what other fighters want. I mean, you're up here making millions upon millions. VIP treatment. What more do you need to play these games with younger fighters and move their fight out of Vegas because it's close to your fight day? I mean, the transparency will be incredible. You won't know they was there, and you won't see any type of a freaking decline in ticket sales just because Haney and Garcia was over there less than 30 days before your fight. Come on, bro. Come on, boxer. You got to do better than this, bro. You got to do better so I won't come over here and talk about you dirty. And I'm keeping it light tonight. This morning, because it's Sunday. You know what I'm saying? I'm keeping it light. I'm keeping it extremely light. I'm keeping it light and polite. You feel me? What's going on, Dragon on deck? Salute to you. I got Keyshawn beating Cruz. Right now, I can't disagree with you. Like I said, Andy Cruz may have beat Keyshawn in the AMs. It might have been Keyshawn's style. His style to me in the amateurs was more for professional ranks. When he was relieved from the Olympic Training Center and he came into the professional ranks and picked up those wins. Andy Cruz had that style that was more so relatable to the AMs. But I think Keyshawn has definitely made more improvement, and it's definitely his transformation, and how he picked up in the professional ranks has did him well. And he's fought better opposition, obviously. He only has 10 fights, and Andy has 3. But I'm just saying, in general, he's been in there with some fighters who had way more experience. And him just stepping in there with Pedraza, his last fight, he looked sharp, real strong. And I agree with you. Right now, if there was to fight, it wouldn't be good for Andy Cruz. I think Keyshawn would just outwork him. He's way more smoother than Andy Cruz. Andy be up there with, I wanted to hand him a freaking MRI machine so he can scan where his opponent was sometime, Dude. You know what I'm saying? You can cut out the ring and everything, but just be a bit more consistent. Like these fighters, you can be a lot more consistent with the jab. If you go to the body, why not go to the body? He was using the hook to the body and the uppercut. I will give him that. But out of 10 rounds, I just think it could have been executed a lot more than what it was. But that fight is not going to happen anytime soon. But that's pretty much what I have to say about the Canelo situation. If he has anything to do with moving Devin Haney and Ryan Garcia out of there, I don't think it's fair. Real talk. I think it's BS. You want to talk about Canelo ticket sales. Who the hell is Canelo fighting? You know what I'm saying? I would be livid if I was a fighter. How the hell are you moving us out of that window and he doesn't even have a freaking opponent locked in? You just effing with me right now. You just effing with me, man. What? How the hell you could do some shit like this? You just effing with me, man. You're taking money out of my pocket all because you saying Canelo? You don't want to affect his ticket sales? BS, man. There's no way in hell. Canelo won't see anything. He getting guaranteed money like that. That man is just fine. That man is just fine. Boxing, the system is flawed. It's corrupt. And it's a lot that goes on in the sport that people just deal with. Real talk. People just deal with. That's why I'm happy to see Charles Conwell, sign over there with Eddie and get back in the grind, because he was going through his share too. But I'm glad to see the brother being able to feed his family, and get back in the ring and make that happen. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's these some of these cats up here, man. They're everything that the people said they were before I met them. Some people that I ain't met before, and people told me, "Hey, man, you meet so and so, he this, and this." And then when you meet them, they, you can see some of them will give you the exact stamp. Yep, he's that, she's that, and then some don't. But I would say, honestly, I would be livid. I would definitely have something to say if that's Ryan Garcia angle, that he's taking the protest, being moved from that Vegas fight, because he's saying, hey, I want the big fights. I want to be under the bright lights. And I want a big win tonight. You know what I'm saying? I want to bring my fans out. Pretty much that's what Ryan Garcia, he's trying to get paid the most money. He's trying to basically mirror or come close to what he made with Gervonta Davis somehow, some way in the future. So I can see how he's trying to basically advance off what he did with Gervonta. I get it, bro. I get it, man. Do what you got to do. Do what you got to do. I ain't mad at you, man. Shout out to Jessica in the building. What's going on with your queen? Salute WCS in the chat. Salute to you. But the last thing is, I want y'all to be patient. Hopefully sometime soon we find out who Canelo's fighting, and we find out who Crawford fighting. I don't know when Spence gonna be back in the ring, but he put a picture out there. Did I show you all the picture? I gotta show y'all the picture. Let me see let me show you this picture, and you tell me what you think, okay? Y'all tell me, cause this what Spence do. For real, that's what he does, bro. Let me show you this picture, and I want to get your opinion on it on this Sunday. All right? You tell me what you think. What does it mean? How do we decipher what he's trying to say, y'all? I felt some type of way about these cats who get on Twitter and they always want you to play Hangman or something. You know what I'm saying? Wheel of Fortune and shit. You try to figure out what the hell they talking about. But here we go right here, y'all. Please, I'm welcome to any one of y'all in the chat. This is Errol Spence sitting on a step. And you tell me, what do you think about the message that he's trying to send out to the public? I'll wait until y'all, give some comments. That's Errol Spence sitting down on a wooden step with the lining of his pocket out now. You know what I'm saying? And what is that supposed to be telling us? Please, scholars in the chat, please help me, assist. Please, I'm asking. Can you provide me with your take on what does this mean? He's sitting down on the steps, and the lining of his pocket is out, and we know what that's about. You know what I'm saying? If your line is out, there's nothing in there. What is he saying? Let me kind of guide you on where I'm going. Is he saying that the reason why there's no fight because there's no money? Is he saying that he needs money? You know what I'm saying? It'd be good for him to get a fight for some money. Or he's putting out there like, pay me. I don't know. I don't know what he means by this picture. Pay me? There's no money for to make the fight. You know what I'm saying? Empty pockets. It's empty pockets, so there's no money out there to fund the fight. Where's this at? What does this mean from Spence? I just wish he would freaking put some words in his caption. You know what I'm saying? Instead of have people out here like myself that's trying to figure out where he's going with this. You know, is he running out of money? Or is he calling us fans broke? You know what I'm saying? I don't know what he's doing. I don't want every freaking scenario to be negative. Does it mean he donated all his money that he had in his pocket? I'm gonna go with Dragon. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna go with Dragon. I'm gonna go with him, man. PBC is broke. You know, that's the way I took it. That hey, they don't have enough money to make that fight, to pay for the fight. You know what I'm saying? Empty pockets. No dinero. You know? They don't have it. They don't have nobody to finance that fight. So that's what I see from it, bro. It has something to do around those lines. That's what I think. There's no money to make that Crawford fight. There's no money to whoever he's trying to fight next. I don't know who that is. You know, but like I told Spence, whether he listens or not, I told Crawford, they should go to 160, not 154. 154 is heavy right now. You know, not so much Crawford. You know, Crawford, he's good. But for Spence, dropping all that weight, Spence to go to 160 and start working up there. Because he's bigger than 160. Him just going to 154 right now, a division that he had already fought in early in his career, it serves no purpose, man. To me, it don't serve too much of a purpose. But the good thing is the belts is not sitting in possession of just one person. So we'll see how that works out. I want everybody to enjoy their Sunday. If you've been a sinner throughout the week, the good thing about today, you can repent and ask your most high, your supreme being for forgiveness. That's a good thing. And you can do that any day of the week, but I'm just letting you know. But shout out to the hottest chat in the MFN game. We should do it again.